Today is Tuesday, Parashat Beshalach, and we're learning the Ketubim from Chok Israel. And today the Ketubim are a number of verses from the book of Proverbs, from Mishlei written by King Solomon. The first verse says, Erech apayim rav tevuna, uktzar ruach merim ivelet. So Erech apayim, a person who's slow to anger, a person who's patient, such a person, rav tevuna, is of great understanding. Uktzar ruach, but a person who's short-tempered, merim ivelet, such a person, he selects foolishness. So the more patience you have, the more understanding you have. The more short-temperedness you have, the more foolishness is what you're going to reap. Next pasuk, Chaye besarim lev marpe urkav atzamot kin'ah. Lev marpe, which means a healing heart, a heart that forgives, a heart that is forgoes retributions, doesn't want to get even. He forgives. Such a heart, Chaye besarim, can bring life to people. It's a source of life. When the more that you're forgiving and peaceful, the more there could be life around, and the more you'll be able to bring life to those around you. Urkav atzamot kin'ah. However, jealousy, and jealousy is many times connected with anger. A person is angry and jealous of someone, that brings rekav atzamot. Rekav atzamot is the rotting of the bones. It eats the person inside, so to speak, and can rot bones. And it's the exact opposite of bringing life. So the more forgiveness, the more you forgo retribution, the more life for the person and those around him. The more a person lets himself to succumb to jealousy and anger, the more you'll have the opposite of life being brought into physical, and more like there's a rotting of the bones, so to speak. Next pasuk, Oshek dal heref osehu umchabedo honen ve'evyon. A person who oppresses a poor man, it's as if he was blaspheming the maker of that person. Because who made the people poor or rich? It's all from Hashem. So that person who's poor, if you oppress him, if you mock him, if you disrespect him, and you treat him improperly, it's as if you were acting negatively towards the person, the one who made that poor man, which would be Hashem. But a person who's chonen evyon, who has compassion for the poor, has mercy for the poor, it's as if you had respect for Hashem, for God. Because when you have compassion to that poor person who was created by God, you're taking care of him, then you're respectful actually to Hashem, to God. Next pasuk, Bera'ato yiddaher rasha, v'choseh b'moto tzaddik. So the wicked person is overthrown through his evil doing. Eventually it catches up with him. A person can be successful by being wicked and sinful, but eventually it catches up with him, and it overpowers him, it overthrows him actually. But the righteous person is confident in the reward that he'll have, even if it's not in this world, in the world to come, he'll be able to reap the fruits of his labor, and even if it's not in this world, then in the world to come. So a righteous person has faith that eventually he will get rewarded, even if not immediately. Next pasuk, Belev navon tanuach chokhmah upkerev kesirim tivadea. Wisdom rests in the heart of the people who have understanding. The more understanding you have, the more you have wisdom, and that wisdom is in you. You don't need to shout it out and be flashy about the wisdom that you know it's there in your heart. But the person who's a foolish person, who's a fool, the little wisdom that he knows, he tries to scream it out, to make it known, and he's very loud about whatever he knows. There is an illustration that is brought by our sages to compare the two, person who's very wise and a person who knows very little who's a fool. And it says, like, when you have a charity box that is stuffed with money and you shake it, you don't hear any noise because it's packed. But a charity box that has just 1 or 2 or 3 coins in it, when you shake it, it makes a lot of noise. That way also a person who's not so knowledgeable and doesn't have that much understanding makes a lot of noise with the little wisdom that he knows. But a person who has great understanding, wisdom rests in his heart. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.